Ghana is an investment magnet. Everybody who is anybody with money is going to invest in Ghana. Most recently, Twitter, who snapped Nigeria, who snapped Egypt, who snapped South Africa, who even snapped Kenya to go and set up their shop in Ghana. Hi guys, how are you? Welcome to the channel. My name is Cynthia Ganga. If you're new, subscribe. Yeah, subscribe. Take a second, scroll down, hit the subscribe button. Ding! If you're a returning subscriber, welcome home. On today's video, we want to discuss things that make Ghana better than Kenya, in my own humble opinion. And this doesn't in any means say that I prefer one place or the other. It's just some of the observations that I have made. Point number one is the economy and their currency. The Ghanaian cedi vis-a-vis the dollar is really strong, and in 2019 it was the world best performing currency against the US dollar. That's a really big deal. Now, $1 US equals to about 5 Ghanaian cedis and certain pesos, give or take depending with inflation. But how crazy is that? Because in Nairobi, $1 equals 107 shillings. It was about 100 shillings before COVID-19, but once COVID struck, the Kenyan shilling depreciated to the dollar by 7.7%. I'm a business journalist, sometimes I'm smart. Also, but when you look at the impact of COVID-19 on the Ghanaian cedi, it was about 5%, 5.5, 5.7%. So that's a 2 percentage point difference, and that just goes to show that the Ghanaian currency is really strong. Number two, why I think Ghana sometimes is better than Kenya, their president is very sensible. You guys, I mean, in comparison to our president, I'm not a Ghanaian, so I can't really relate to the struggles of the country and the beef that you guys might have with your president. But every time like he goes on international platforms, and I've even done a video about this, he's very passionate about a pan-African development, and the world should stop misusing African continent, African resources, and twisting African leaders to make certain decisions that benefit the West at the expense of Africa and Africans. And I think for me, you know, when you have a thought-provoking leader, that's one step in the right direction, you know. For him to say that Ghanaian education and health budget should not be funded by French taxpayer donor, but the money should be homegrown solutions for homegrown problems, that's a lot. Guys, our president here will never speak like your president. In fact, he wants more. He wants to borrow. He wants debt. And it's really mind-boggling how in 2021 a president is just begging and begging for more. Yet there are African economists like Dambisa Moyo who say debt is not going to get Africa out of the current problems that it experiences. So to have a president in Ghana that is aware of these things and says we need to win Africa off debt, Africa needs its fair share of money and payment when it comes to resources, guys, props to you. Props to you. Number three, pay in Ghana is harmonized. Like people, when they're getting paid in organizations, or at least in the media where I've interacted with certain people, pay is very harmonized. So you'll find maybe the highest paid person is paid about 7,000 or 7,500 Ghanaian cedis in most of these organizations, like not necessarily the highest, but that's their competitive pay. Here in Kenya, oh my God, the pay disparity is crazy. One person will be earning $300 in the same organization. Another person is earning 20,000 US, and they do the same job. Guys, it's not even that this person is the CEO. No, they're all both. It's so crazy. So in Ghana, that harmonized pay sort of brings up a very strong middle class. In Nairobi, we have rich and then we have poor. People who think they're middle class, but they're one medical bill away from poverty. So there's no middle class in this country. They're just rich people who are pretending to be rich, and then poor people. But I feel like in Ghana, the middle class is slightly strong because of harmonized pay. And when pay is harmonized, then inflation is manageable because, you know, these people can afford up to this rate. When you go beyond this, then you're really hurting these people. Number 4, Ghana is deeply rooted in its culture. Like the culture centricity in that country is just on another level. I mean, the food that you eat is authentic Ghanaian experience. The clothes that they wear, the fabric that they sell is true Ghanaian experience. It's not very watered down. Like here in Kenya, there's certain cultures that have stuck to their roots, like the Ma culture, for example, even the Kikuyu culture during their traditional ceremonies. But mostly, Kenya is like, I don't know, a small London outside of London. When you come here, then maybe you might get, if you're lucky, then you get to experience that authentic feel. But mostly people feel comfortable here because it's just another metropolitan place where you can just come and enjoy your stay. So we're not very culture oriented. It's not that we don't have culture. It doesn't come out every day. It only comes out during specific occasions and specific times. But in Ghana, they live, eat, and breathe their culture. Finally, and most importantly, Ghana is an investment magnet. Everybody who is anybody with money is going to invest in Ghana. Most recently, Twitter, who snapped Nigeria, who snapped Egypt, who snapped South Africa, who even snapped Kenya to go and set up their shop in Ghana. I mean, the environment there is really friendly. There's government goodwill. There is political stability. There is democracy. Their location is very prime. It's close to Europe. It's close to America. So people are preferring to go and invest there in comparison to Kenya. I mean, we have our own challenges. And if you think I'm lying, FDI, foreign direct investment that flew into Ghana was received in Ghana in the year 2019, pre-pandemic numbers, is about 2.3 billion US dollars. In Kenya, it was about 1.3 to 1.6 US dollars. So you can see the difference. It's a difference of about, give or take, 1 billion US dollars. So Ghana is overtaking the whole continent in being an investor magnet. The people are friendly, the environment is friendly, the government will help you set up very quickly. And I feel like the market is not as saturated as it is in Nairobi. In Nairobi, it's cutthroat. If you're coming here and you don't have a plan, you'll tank all your savings. I feel like there, the market is slightly green, so it makes it easy for investors to venture in. Is there anything I've left out that you have been probably to Kenya and you look at the two countries and you're like, I think Ghana does better than Kenya here? Let me know next week or in the next video of this series. I'll be doing a video on why I think Kenya is better than Ghana or some of the things that Kenya does better than Ghana. Keep it here, guys.